The purpose of this speech is to explain air traffic control history, training, and our responsibilities. At the end of my speech, the class will have a better understanding of air traffic control and why it is important. Today, I'm going to talk to you about air traffic control. My job is important because air traffic is the source to getting aircraft to and from their destination safely without collision with other aircraft. We have to know our job because a lot of people's lives are in our hands. I'm going to talk to you about the history of 1C1X1 air traffic control, the establishment and first controller. Second, I'm going to discuss the training process to include tech school and upgrade training that prepares us for our jobs. And finally, I'm going to talk to you about the specific responsibility to include separating aircraft and the flow of traffic. First, I'm going to start off with the history of air traffic control, the establishment. Air traffic control started out as men working in the airfield with flags to guide the aircraft in using flags and signals. The United States passed the Air Commerce Act of 1926, and after 1926, in 1930, the first radio equipped control tower was built, and it was in Cleveland Municipal Airport. By 1932, almost all airline aircraft were being equipped for radio telephone communications, and about 20 radio control towers were operating by 1935. The first controller. The first controller was Archie Lee, which he was considered the first flagman, beginning in the late 1920s at the airfield in St. Louis, Missouri. Now that you've learned about the history of air traffic controller, now I'm going to talk to you about required schools and training that are involved. The first one is tech school. Tech school, you will attend tech school in Keesler Air Force Base, that's in Biloxi, Mississippi. And tech school is 20 weeks long. The first 10 weeks is about fundamentals, where you learn all the basic and the knowledge about air traffic controller. And the second 10 weeks is putting knowledge into a simulated environment, which is a simulated air traffic environment, and learning how to control aircraft and separate them. So basically, it's pretty much like a manager airport, and you're working it. If you cannot get past this, you will not be an air traffic controller. And that's where the stress come on, because all the training and all the knowledge that you have to learn in such a short amount of time. All right. The second part I'm gonna talk about is upgrade training. Upgrade training begins when you get to your first base. When you get to your first base, you're considered a 3 level. A 3 level is basically a person that doesn't know anything but the basics. You will learn everything from A to Z, reference airports, aircraft types, their speed, and all is in like a such amount of time. They give you for a 3 level to upgrade to a 5 level. They give you anywhere from 3 months to 9 months in a control tower, because that's where I work, in a control tower, to get upgraded to a 5 level. That's when the stress is on. It's the training and the studying and trying to get everything down in a short amount of time. All right. After you become a 5 level, then the training doesn't stop there. You at 5 level, you're still working. You work in traffic alone by yourself. Then you have to go continue to do other upgrade training where you become a 7 level. And basically, a 7 level, you can't be a 7 level until you put on E5. But air traffic control is fun. If you make it fun, and it's all about keeping aircraft safe. Um, Last but not least, I'm going to talk to you about the air traffic control specific responsibility. Our number one responsibility is keeping aircraft safe. While you're going from your hometown to vacation, or from vacation to wherever your destination may be, our responsibility is to get you there safely and keep you from hitting other aircraft. All right. The second part that we consider is the flow of traffic. We want to give the best service that we can, just like a flight attendant. We want to give you good service while you're on the aircraft. We're trying not to keep you delayed on the ground or keep you delayed in the air. Basically, we're just trying to keep you separated and provide the best, utmost service to the pilot to get him to where he needs to be. And I always like to explain, like, air traffic is just like when you own a GPS, you don't know where you're going, and the GPS is guiding you. That's what an air traffic controller is doing for a pilot, because he has no idea where he's going. He's just up in the air. So that's why some people say that our job is stressful. But to me, it's not stressful. It's all about what you want and what you learn and how much you attain, if you can do it or if you're afraid. Because we have some people that get afraid of doing air traffic control because it's such a big responsibility. I have discussed the history of air traffic controller to include the establishment, the first controller. Second, I've discussed the training process, which includes tech school and upgrade training. Finally, I've discussed the specific responsibility of an air traffic controller to include separating aircraft and the flow of traffic. I would like to close my speech out with a closer that was quoted by Tech Sergeant Brad Riley. And he said, being in charge as an air traffic controller, you're the man in charge of the airfield. Nothing goes on without you knowing it. And that is a true fact. If you have any questions or would like to know more about air traffic control, please do not hesitate to question me or ask me any question. I would be glad to assist you.